It's the Bison Football Show. Valley News Live and Gate City Bank present the Bison Football Show with head coach Chris Kleiman.
Thought their young quarterback played very well. Not only did he run the ball well, but he put the ball on the money with a lot of throws today. And I'll just tell you what, I've coached a lot of football in you know, my 23 years, and I can tell you if they play like that, I don't know if anybody can beat them.
Well said. That's Bob Nielsen, the head coach of Western Illinois. The Harvest helmets looked great. The Bison pitched almost a perfect game, won 59-7 in the Harvest Bowl over Western Illinois. We welcome to the set head coach Chris Kleiman. Congratulations, coach. And what do you make of how well your guys played?
Well, I give our guys credit. They were focused all week. They were excited to get back to the Fargo Dome. Credit our crowd for being into it from the first snap, and our guys were really energized. And it was a dominating performance. Our coaches did a phenomenal job. Our players did a phenomenal job of just keeping that emotion and energy going for 60 minutes.
Well, let's get right to the highlights and break this game down. It was such an impressive performance by NDSU. Certainly served notice to the rest of the conference for sure. Early on, Coach, this play really set the tone for the crowd and everything. What a catch by Zach Broad.
Really good, unbelievable catch. As good as your catch you're going to probably see, and happy for Zach.
Yeah, great throw too as well, but what an adjustment. It was number 3 on the Sports Center top 10 in the nation, and it was well-deserved. 7-0 at that point. This Nico Watson, 265, but Brian Schatz plants him.
Yeah, Brian, great stunt and a big hit.
Yeah, that was set the tone for the defense as well, and the defense continued to roll. A big turnover here.
A great call by Coach Ince and the defensive staff, and Pierre takes it in for a touchdown.
You got all the momentum in the world right now, up 14-0. And again, the defense doing all the little things I thought in this game. You always teach them to strip the ball, and this is a great play by CJ.
Something we've been emphasizing all season long, and CJ does a great job of ripping it out, and we're getting those turnovers now.
Now this drive after this turnover turns into a field goal attempt, which is fairly big. Cam had a tough day at Southern Illinois, but he came back out, kicked the ball well here.
Yeah, really happy for Cam. He banged this one through, and once again, we capitalized on the turnover with points.
17-0 at this point. That was a 32-yarder right there. And again, Nico Watson, he came in with big numbers, but he only had 7 yards in the first quarter and netted 1 for the entire day.
Yeah, great job by the front four all day long of pushing that pocket or pushing that pile.
Yeah, 1 first down in the first quarter for Western Illinois. Easton Stick, 14-yard run.
Yeah, great run, good call, and he pulled it and did a big game.
Hey, King Frazier kept his momentum rolling, didn't he?
Yeah, King's really running hard, running well. Does a good job, great job up front by the offensive line, and a punishing run by King.
You know, I thought in this game, too, Easton Stick throwing the football really got on tape for the rest of the league to serve notice that he has an arm as well, and I thought he throwed really well on the run.
Boy, he really did, and I was happy for Easton. He's been working at it. We've been working at it as a football team, and throws a strike here to RJ.
Another touchdown for those two. RJ Erzendowski has been hot with Easton Stick at quarterback. It's 24-0 right now. Back to the defense, a forced fumble for Caleb Butler.
Yeah, great pressure. You know, Norvell was uncomfortable all day back there, and give the D-line credit.
Well, Easton didn't get 100 yards, but he was right at it, just over 80 yards in this game. But, man, he really has an extra gear.
Well, he does, and they blitzed him, and they lost contain. And when you're in man coverage, this stuff happens, and Easton has great speed around the edge.
The screen pass has been working well for the Bison offense this year, hasn't it?
And we've done it at several different looks, several different ways, which makes it hard to key on.
This drive ends up with Andrew Bonnet. As you see this play, a very physical run right there. Andrew Bonnet will finish this play off, and you put more points on the board.
Yeah, really good job by Bonnet of holding the block and then delaying, and Easton putting it on the money, and touchdown for Bonnet.
Yeah, great to see Bonnet. Another kid really from Omaha. He's from Council Bluffs, which is right across the river. Another Omaha guy, Nick DeLuca, just playing at a high level again.
Yeah, good blitz call. MJ comes, and then Nick follows him, and we get a big sack.
You know, the defensive in-depth, I thought, the last couple of weeks has started to develop. Stanley Jones here gets a quarterback hurt.
Yeah, we're playing a lot of guys. Coach Kane's doing a tremendous job of rotating those guys in there, and they're all playing really fast right now.
Bruce Anderson, this is as healthy as he has been, and he looked the part, didn't he?
Boy, he sure did. It's good to see Bruce. We need that speed on the edge, and he was healthy and ran the ball really hard.
Right before half here, a beautiful deep ball, and Easton shows that he has this part of his game as well.
Yeah, great call by Coach Polisek. Great sell by our offensive line in Easton, and Shep gets behind everybody for a big touchdown.
That was a beautiful route. Hit him in stride there, too. No coverage there, but still hit him in stride. 38-0, and let's go to the Nodak Mutual Insurance halftime scoreboard, and there you see it. Just a dominant half of football by NDSU. In fact, Western Illinois got 100 yards, but 29 of those were on the last play of the half in garbage time virtually. 2 turnovers for Western Illinois. Before we get to the second half, on the Gate City Bank hot seat this week, special team star Ben LeCompte. Okay, Ben, what's your favorite pro team in any sport?
Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, wow. You're happy now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Who would you describe as your hero?
My father, my dad, absolutely.
Favorite sport other than football?
Got to be golf. Got to like to hit the links.
Name something you're bad at, apparently not golf.
Singing, awful, tone deaf, anything with music or rhythm.
What drives you crazy about your roommates?
Just not cleaning up the dishes, probably.
In traffic, are you patient or do you get frustrated?
Outrageously frustrated. I hate traffic.
Why do you like Fargo and North Dakota? What do you like about it?
Just the sense of community and how nice people are no matter where you are or what you're doing.
What do you like most about the Bison coaching staff?
How personal they are, how they make it a priority to kind of know each guy more than just his number in his face.
All right, finally, what thing people don't know about you?
I'm a twin. I'm a twin brother. So, yeah.
Well, Coach, 38-0, not much to work on at half, I guess, was there?
Well, no, not really, but we just needed to keep the energy and keep the momentum, and we made a promise to each other as players and coaches. We're going to play every game in 60 minutes and have great focus, and that was the challenge at halftime, and I thought we came out with an edge to us in the second half.
Yeah, and some guys got meaningful reps as well. Let's roll the second half highlights here. And they got the ball to start, but you stopped them. And then a very important drive, I thought, as you see the minuscule numbers for Western Illinois putting up offensively. But I thought a really good drive to run the football and establish the game here.
This was a great drive by the offense. I think it took 6, 7, 8 minutes off the clock after the defense had a 3-and-out, and we were able to cap it off with a touchdown. And most of this is on the ground, and that's what was so impressive about it.
And you're using all your weapons here. It was King for 8, then Easton for 14, and then Lance Dunn even comes into the mix here with a 10-yard run.
Yeah, did a great job of kind of moving it around in a lot of different formations. We have a lot of offense for defenses to defend right now, and I thought our guys did a great job on this drive.
This was another great day for the running game, wasn't it, overall?
It sure was. Yeah, I don't know what our final stats were rushing the football, but I know we piled up a lot of yards again.
45-0 at this point as King Frazier finishes it off with a 6-yard run. And their quarterback, Trenton Norvelt, nice player, but you really had him rattled.
Yeah, because of the pressure. I think he's an excellent player, and we were able to get pressure on him, which made him hurry some throws.
You know, at this point in the game, you know, the outcome is not in doubt. So this play right here, it looks like a catch. The replay process is working, and most Valley teams are using it, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's supposed to be replayed, every play up above, and if you don't feel something's replayed, you can challenge it, and I think that's what Coach Nielsen did, and it was one of those bang-bang things, and it wasn't a catch.
Yep, it got overturned, and then they do get a big play here.
Yeah, Lenore's an excellent receiver, and he was an all-conference player last year and makes a nice catch.
This is a really good pocket throw by Easton, shows his ability there.
Excellent. This was a 3rd and long, and great concentration by Shep, getting hit and securing the catch.
This is the first play of the 4th quarter. It's just a 3-yard run, but the significance of this play is this was the last play of the game for Easton. You got him out of the game here.
Yeah, we were able to get pretty much everybody out there in the start of the 4th quarter, which was important for us to get a lot of young guys some meaningful repetitions.
But you also want these guys to keep playing and keep working, and Bruce did that.
Yeah, you have to. Great job by the young offensive linemen and Bruce running the football, and so important for us to keep those guys moving forward.
You know, we always see Bruce on the edge, and we'll see it again, but he can run between the tackles.
Yeah, he does. He does a nice job there and splits it. I wish he'd have gotten in the end zone there.
Lance Dunn's going to finish it off. In fact, Lance is going to get a couple touchdowns here in the second half, and it's good positive feedback from him as well.
Absolutely, and great job by those young offensive linemen. Really pleased with those guys.
52-7, and Cole Davis, it's good to get him some reps also.
Yeah, we really need to, and it was good to have him on the edge. He has really good athleticism as well, picks up a big first down on 3rd down.
We're really going to see the speed of Bruce Anderson on this next play. 26 yards. You know, when he gets out on the edge, boy, he has an extra gear.
Yeah, he sure does. Good block outside by the wide receivers. Did an excellent job of blocking all day, the wide receivers did.
He's just running the game out here, but I thought even the second string offensive line guys came in and really produced.
Boy, they sure did. You can see us pushing the pile and getting a great push at their line of scrimmage and another big gain for a first down.
Lance Dunn will finish this drive off 59-7. I'll bet you never imagined 59 points in this game.
No, great block by Jeff Ilias. He sprung him loose there. Great job by Jeff, and then Lance finishes it off.
And that's the final score on our Nodak Mutual Insurance final score page, 59-7. Look at the rushing yards, 331 to 33, and of course the time of possession, wow, 43 to 16. Let's hear what the players had to say after the game.
Last, 2 games, kind of leading up to this one, you could tell everything was starting to click a little bit better with us, and then this game, just everything was just hitting on all cylinders. I think that's why we played such a complete game, and we just got to keep going with that.
Everybody had that chip on their shoulder, like. We told ourselves we had to play great at all times and not just sometimes. We had to have no letdowns and just play Bison defense.
I feel like we had a pretty good game plan. The coaches, the players were all confident in it. And we know Easton can run the ball, and now after today we definitely know he can pass. So looking forward to the future with him. Well,
honestly, the coaches did well game planning, helping us to stay focused and what we had to do for the game. We just went out there and made them look well.
I love the feeling of, being able to know that when we go into the second half, the defense is getting tired, and that's when we start to really hit these big plays. And I think that knowing, beforehand, no matter what they throw at us, we're going to be able to, get yards on it. And even if it is only 4 or 5 yards, sometimes those are my favorite plays because they're so, hard and well earned. And I think that that's, something that we enjoy, take pride in.
Great comments by the players. This week's Nodak Mutual Insurance Player of the Game is once again Easton Stick. Stick nearly rushed for 100 yards again, but this game wrapped the whole arsenal together. He showed the rest of the league that his arm needs to be taken seriously as well. The best part is he is hungry to improve each week.
The line played really well again. They're playing at a high level in the run game and the throw game, and guys were making plays on the perimeter today. RJ, Shep, Zach had a huge catch on that first drive, so I'm just trying to play as fast as I can and getting more confident, make sure I get them the ball so they can make plays afterwards.
Well, Coach, what a 3-game run it has been for Easton Stick. We're going to look at some of his numbers here. He's had over 800 yards of offense from scrimmage in these 3 games. He's very balanced with the rushing and the passing, and RJ and him really hooking up. 12 catches for 190 yards and 4 scores for RJ with Easton in these 3 starts.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job, and he as he said, he's getting more comfortable with each game, and we're playing really well as a football team. Defense is getting the ball back to the offense. We're holding on to the ball for 43 minutes. If you're a no-huddle offense, standing on the sideline, watching our offense just continue to churn out first downs and rushing yards, it's been a great team effort the last 3 weeks.
And talk about the running game. We're going to look at some Bruce Anderson plays here, but I thought when he is clicking and when King is running physical like he is, it's that 2-headed monster, almost like 2 years ago with John Crockett and Sam O'Jury.
Absolutely, and we were able to get Bruce back healthy this week. We're getting closer with Chase, and Chase just, his ankle kind of acted up on him before the game, so we kind of limited his reps, but Chase is an integral part of that as well. And then you saw Lance and all 4 of those guys, and even throw Darius in there. Darius Anderson's doing a nice job. We're playing 5 guys, keeping everybody fresh, and makes it tough on a defense to defend us.
Yeah, it is an impressive running game. There is no question about it. Well, let's look at the Missouri Valley Football Conference standings, and, a big thing happened yesterday. Illinois State took a loss. Now the Bison control your destiny for at least a share of the conference title. That is a huge deal.
Yeah, it really is. And you look, there's 6 teams from South Dakota up to Illinois State that are all vying for playoff position and a potential to get in the playoffs. The top of the leaderboard with South Dakota State, North Dakota State, Illinois State. It's a great league, as we all know. And we just have to move forward, and we're going to play an excellent Youngstown State team on the road.
Yep, and I know you don't want to talk about playoffs, Coach, so I'll leave the fans with this. The Bison certainly back in the conversation for a top 2 seed and home field. Lots of football left, though. Big game this week against Youngstown, and we'll break that down coming up. Now, these Omaha kids playing great football, and there's a ton of them. We're going to talk about that connection with the city to the south. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show. Easton Stick and RJ Erzendowski have brought the Omaha area into the spotlight when it comes to NDSU football. Nick DeLuca and Jalen Allison are also big-time talents. So what is it about the Omaha connection that has been so good to the Bison? We find out more in this week's Olaf Anderson Construction feature story.
The Easton to RJ connection is easy to spot. High school teammates making their mark under the bright lights of college football.
And the Creighton Prep Connection strikes once again.
But they're merely a pair of a larger group of guys from Omaha, Nebraska, who are helping keep Bison football at the top.
I was aware, a lot of people were aware, with Christian being up here, Dudzik, DeLuca, Tyler Rice. And there are a couple other guys, that Jesse Hines and Kyle Emanuel, guys that, you know, were from the area and big names in high school.
In 2015, it's Nick DeLuca, Andrew Bonnet, Jalen Allison, and of course, Easton Stick and RJ Erzendowski.
You know, there's maybe 2 or 3 kids who are going to the Big Ten every year, and then after that, there's a whole lot of football players who are looking for opportunities. And there's Division I football players in the state, and there's only one Division I football program in the state.
Offensive line coach Connor Riley is an Omaha native and played in the area himself. His connections to high school coaches can help, but the big key is that those coaches know what Bison football is about.
For the most part, a lot of those guys do understand the type of student athlete that we're looking for. So when they do have that type of player, I'm fortunate to have some connections that are saying, hey, you better take a look at this kid, or you better take a look at this kid at that particular school.
That's how the Bison found Nick DeLuca.
Honestly, in high school, I didn't really know a whole lot about NDSU. My coaches kind of told me they were recruiting me, and, you know, my coach obviously sent my tape up here and grew to know more and more about them. But, you know, going all through high school, I really didn't ever expect coming here, but I'm glad I made the decision to.
With the growth of sites like Huddle and the popularity of social media helping word spread of major prospects, Omaha is no longer a secondary market for talent. But the success of hometown guys is catching on.
Well, I think we've gained more followers, you know, knowing that there's more Omaha guys up here and more just Nebraska guys.
A lot of guys are interested, and the awareness and the excitement of our program is growing. And so it's really cool to go back and kind of talk about our program and things we've been able to do.
People may have once thought the Husker State only fed Nebraska football, but the lengthy list of Nebraskans on the Bison roster proves otherwise. For the Bison Football Show, I'm Beth Houle.
Coach, there's a lot of talent in Omaha, and it's fun to see these guys up here and kind of feed that back to the city where current high school players are saying, hey, those guys are doing well up there.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've all developed. You know, they all came in as true freshmen, and RJ played as a true freshman. Nick played as a true freshman, but they've developed with Coach Kramer. And credit Coach Riley. He's done a phenomenal job recruiting the Omaha area. He knows so many people because he's from there. And it's still a great area for us to continue to go to.
Yes, another linebacker is emerging for the Bison, and we highlight him in this week's Peterson Farm Seed Future Crop of Bison. Jake Brinkman from the Iowa City area was a highly recruited player. Comes from a powerhouse program that has won 5 straight state titles in Iowa. Brinkman also has quite a tie to the Bison coaching staff.
I didn't know much about NDSU until it was about my freshman year of high school when Coach Kleiman got the job, because my dad and Coach Kleiman actually played together. So when he got here, that's when we kind of started paying attention to NDSU and started watching their games. And I didn't hear anything until about junior year. I was actually playing on baseball, but Tyler Roll started recruiting me, and when the FCS champions are knocking out their door, I became very interested and came to their camp, and it was a pretty easy decision.
That's a great comment right there. And you know Jake's dad, apparently.
Yeah, I played with Mike. Thankfully, Jake has his talent from his mother. So, but no, Brink and I have been long-time friends, and you're right. He plays for a powerhouse at Iowa City Regina, and I think they've got a chance for another state championship. And Jake's done a nice job as a redshirt this year. He'll probably be in the mix for some playing time next year.
And a guy like DeLuca can really mentor him, can't he?
Absolutely. You know, when you have Nick and MJ and Pierre that have been through the process, and those guys still have another year, they're great to work with for those guys.
Well, Jake, we're happy to have you in the program. Big game for the Bison this week. Youngstown State, quality opponent, a tough road game. We're going to talk about it. Stay with us. Well, Coach, as we take a look ahead, this is a very tough road game in our Verizon look ahead. Verizon's been serving North Dakota for over 15 years, but I'll tell you what, Youngstown State, they're 5-4. They're still in the playoff mix, and it's going to be rocking at Stambaugh Stadium.
Oh boy, it's a tough place to play. It's a great environment. They have a lot of veteran kids on that team that we played against really the last couple years, and so we'll have to have a great week of preparation and have our best game because they'll be ready to play.
You know, Youngstown has always had tons of talent, too, and now the Bo Pelini dynamic, it was, you know, a different coaching staff, but Bo comes from Nebraska. He's from the Youngstown area. So it's an interesting dynamic with Pelini, isn't it?
It really is, and he has them playing really hard, really fast. They won the last 2 games. They won a tough game at Western Illinois when their backs were really against the wall, and that probably, and they should have probably won the Southern Illinois game the week before that. And so they're playing really well. They have to probably win out to have a chance at postseason, and they have tremendous talent. We know that because a lot of the same kids that we've played the last 2 years are now juniors and seniors for them.
And you've played really well on the road the last couple of weeks. Talk about playing on the road and how your guys kind of, they like that process where there's a real strict schedule on Friday night. They have all these meetings, and I think they kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, they do. We we're all together. We get away in the early afternoon on Friday, and then we have our meetings and stuff. So it's a pretty regimented schedule, but the guys lock in and have great focus.
What do you know about Pelini's style and as a coach? He's been at Nebraska a long time, but he was a defensive coordinator for many years, LSU and Oklahoma and Nebraska prior to that.
Well, we'll learn a lot by watching the film. They have their same offensive coordinator that they've had for the last few years, so they're not missing a beat offensively with the amount of yards and points they're putting up. And then they do a great job pressuring and playing man coverage on defense, but it'll be a tremendous challenge, that's for sure.
And this is not a real dead environment like Indiana State or Southern Illinois. They're going to draw fans there, aren't they?
Oh, yes, a great tradition in Youngstown, and I would assume they'll probably get 15 to 18,000, and it'll be loud, and we'll have to deal with the noise. We'll have to pump in noise to different venues that we practice at because they'll come out ready to go. This is a big game.
Yep, best of luck to you, Coach, and great job this weekend.
Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, Youngstown State, it's on statewide NBC, ESPN3, ESPN College Extra. There's plenty of ways to watch this game. Of course, we'll have the Bison Radio Network fired up for you as well, and we'll recap it next week. Enjoy this big Bison win, and we'll see you next time.